Hi, my name is Tiffany, and this is part one of a series I'm going to be doing on a drug that was given to me called Reglan and all the side effects that had happened to me personally. There's so much to go through and explain, so I'm going to do this in parts. Today is part one. I'm just going to go over quickly, probably in the next, just spend 5 minutes explaining what happened to me immediately after. And then the next couple series, I will go over everything else that's happened since and how I was treated by the hospital and the doctors. Okay, so they give Reglan for different reasons. Off brand, they use it for like nausea, migraines, I think lactating. This does has a black box drug warning on it, which is like the highest warning on it, which obviously the hospital does not, they don't tell you, they don't disclose that information to you. I was just told I was getting a cocktail for a migraine of an anti-inflammatory and a Benadryl and a little something for nausea. That's it. That's all I was told. Nothing else. They didn't tell me that it was a highly dangerous drug that was risky and the benefits do not weigh out the risk for just someone who has a mild migraine. So immediately after the injection, my whole body burned from head to toe. I felt like my whole body was on fire. My heart raced. My heart was tachycardic. I even overheard some of the nurses talking about me being tachycardic. Nobody came in. It was a shift change. So it was one nurse that he just pushed it really quick and then he left. And then he said, I should have pushed the Benadryl after, not before. So he pushed Benadryl first, really fast, and then he pushed all the other meds. I felt awful. I felt like I was going to die. Then about an hour later, all I wanted to do was leave. So they said, "Oh, how you feeling?" I told them I felt a little antsy. But then they just sent me home. So I went home, and that's when it all began. I'm just going to go through a quick list of some of the symptoms. I'm just going to list them out because this series is going to be kind of long. So anxiety, pacing, nausea, abdominal cramping, diarrhea. The worst anxiety I ever felt. My heart rate was 130 and it wouldn't go down. Insomnia. I felt like I was literally dying inside. So I stayed up all night long my husband came home about midnight from work and he's like, "What's wrong?" I said, "I think I'm having a reaction. My heart rate's going really high." So he just sat with me up all night. I did not fall asleep. And then the next day I said, "Okay, I think I should go back to the hospital because I just feel sick, nauseous. I feel like I'm dying inside. I feel like I want to crawl out of my skin." I just couldn't stop pacing and moving my feet. More symptoms. Let me kind of stay on track here. Sorry. Muscle spasms, tingling, nerve pain all over my body. Kind of like how the feeling of oil splattering on your skin when you're frying something. That's kind of like just random nerve zaps all over my body, in my eye, and my arm, and my leg. My whole left side of my body spasmed. My feet moved on their own. My toes, my fingers. Then severe nausea. I went from 185 pounds down to, I think it was 145 pounds within, I think, 2 months because the nausea was so bad. It was just a series of pure hell. And then deep depression to the point of you just don't even want to exist anymore. There was no joy. I mean, I could have won the lottery and $1 million and it wouldn't have fazed me. I wouldn't have cared. I just laid in bed and cried and my body shaked. And anxiety. Then my migraines got way more intense. Diarrhea. And that sounds gross, so I'm just explaining all the symptoms. Constant to uncontrollable. It did something to my GI system to the point where I had to see a GI doctor and go and get an endoscopy done. I went back to the hospital again, explained everything that was going on. It's about my throat was spasming, the back of my neck was spasming. They blew it off and just said it was anxiety. They did not care. They didn't even look at the drugs that they gave me. I told them it was something they gave me, that I had a reaction, that I was totally fine before. I think I went back to another hospital again, told them I know, after I finally figured out it was Reglan, told them what happened, that it was Reglan, would not believe me. Just pushed it off as, I don't know. Just completely, I went to the hospital a total of 5 or 6 times. This was all during COVID, so I was risking getting COVID. But I was so sick, I didn't know what to do. It went in stages. The depression came in stages. The nausea came in stages. The wanting to crawl out of your skin came in stages. So everything had a stage. And then some of it was all mixed at the same time. So there's a lot to my story, how I was treated by physicians. Every single physician in my town that I've seen, several of them, would not even believe me. The only doctor that actually believed me was an ear, nose, and throat doctor, because it gave me tinnitus. He didn't think it's what caused tinnitus, but I had told him about the Reglan, and he said, oh, that's a horrible drug. That causes spasms and all kinds of horrible stuff. I don't even think they give it anymore. And I'm like, they do. And then what also hurt was nobody believed me. Family, friends, I think they all thought I was crazy. I think my husband was the only one that actually believed me, which I can understand if someone's telling you that their whole body is spasming and I was just like acting psychotic because I was so depressed and had so much anxiety. It's like you just feel like like you're dying all day long. Your heart's pounding. Also, I had chest pain where I had to see a cardiologist and get a Holter monitor on for a whole month to make sure my heart wasn't going bad. My blood pressure was like 63. My heart rate went down to like 63. It was really weird. I had like a variety of like so many crazy symptoms, and they all came in stages. But they are getting better. So it's been a year. I can say the last symptoms I still have now are, the nausea is gone. I'm gained some weight back, about 20 pounds, 20, 30 pounds I gained back. But what stayed is the spasms, my legs, muscles in my legs spasms, my toes kind of move on their own. Tinnitus. I have really bad ringing in the ears. I don't have depression or anxiety anymore. That's gone, thank God. Nausea is gone, but I do have a lot of the physical symptoms, and I do get really dizzy. So I have a little anxiety about being dizzy, like when I'm in the store and doing my shopping and stuff. Then I get kind of anxious. But a lot of people from the support group I'm on have said to do videos, and so I thought, you know what? I could never find a good time to just sit down and put on makeup, do my hair, look good, and do a video. I'm like, you know what? Right now, I'm just going to do it how I look. I have no makeup on. This is how I look on a regular basis. Today, I feel okay. But I'm just gonna start my series. So my recommendation for anybody, if you're going to take any type of medication, no matter what it is, obviously you want to do some research on it. I am not a doctor. I am not a physician. I am not giving any medical advice whatsoever because I don't feel comfortable doing that. I'm not even going to tell you don't take this drug because I'm not a doctor. I'm just going to tell you what happened to me personally. Personally, it killed me from the inside. That's just the way I feel. It ruined a good part of my life. I had to resign from a job. I have no job now, and my husband's supporting me by himself. Also, it gave me PTSD. I used to work in the medical field, and now it's really hard to go back into that field because I don't trust anybody in that field anymore because of how I was treated by so many physicians, so many, even old coworkers, that they didn't believe me. Nobody believed me, and I don't even know how they couldn't because they knew me before, and I was totally rational and normal before, but they just didn't, They weren't unkind, but they just didn't care. Anyways, my warning is to you, if you're going to take this drug or any other drug, I don't care whatever it is, do your research because that could really, you have to weigh out the risk and the benefits. If you desperately need a medication, do the research, and then if it's worth it to you, take it. There's a lot of medications out there that do good and nobody has problems with them. There might be somebody else that takes this drug and has no problems with them, and God bless them. But a lot of people have problems with this medication. And it could be life altering, and it has been life altering because it affects so many things. It's not just like, oh, it gave me kidney stones or it gave me anxiety. No, it gives you like 100 symptoms, and they're all wacko, crazy symptoms, like the nerve pain, like zaps all over your body, like you feel like little splats of oil, like all out of nowhere. I feel like I have an electric shock in my eye or in my arms or my legs, or I'll be sleeping and I could feel my left side of my toes moving or my left leg moving, the muscles moving. I'm just like, okay, I know what it is. Um, I started getting better a couple months after, so that was August, October. I started getting a little bit better. That's when I started becoming, the depression. I think the depression subsided maybe November or December. I got through it. I prayed. I cried. I wore down my husband talking to him, but he was awesome. But I got through it, and I got better. Mentally, I got better. So this is just a warning. This is my story / warning for anybody taking any medication. Just do your research. And I'm not saying medication is bad, because there are some medications that save lives. And so I don't want to put a frown and say I'm anti big pharma and all this stuff, and I'm not political at all. I'm just another human being that went through something, and I'm telling my story. And when you Google Reglan, you don't really see much on there about it. So it was very dangerous and devastating to my life because of that drug. So this is part 1 of my series. I know I went a little over. I'm at like 12 minutes now. But anyways, part 1. I'm going to be writing some more stuff down. I'd rather just get on here and do it and say what I wanted to say, everything that it did, kind of list my symptoms too, because that's what people are really going to want to know. I don't think people are really interested in all the fine details of how the doctors treated me, and because they did treat me horribly, and how family treated me like garbage, and even close friends kind of pulled away for a while from me that I thought I could that I could count on. But I don't blame some of them. It's just the way it is. Anyways, do your research. Be careful out there. And God bless you. Hope you enjoyed my little spiel, and take care. Bye.